Michael, I was going through my pictures looking for spiritual Jew doing my Bible study. Well, actually, it was an email. And I saw this. I had this saved. Man, you were just talking about this yesterday. I said, yeah, the guy with the comb over. It is sort of a comb over, I guess. So, yeah, California, August, complaining about, I don't know, wasn't it some liberal agenda there? And then he's over here. And see, they want the quote unquote conservatives, the Trumpsters, to see stuff like this. So they could be enraged and blame the liberal demos. When in fact, they're all on the same squad. So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. That's for you, Michael. For you. For you. So I thought I gave him some love on that. So and somebody did comment on a video, but I already answered them. Which one was it? Did somebody comment on? Hang on a second. Couldn't find it, but Bitter Pills said there are no planets, though. Yeah, there are no such thing as planets. Did I say planets? Trump's death, Christians' comments, or was that something I was reading from somebody else? Yeah, they're wandering stars, and they're right above us in the firmament or inside the firmament. If they're on the other side of the firmament, that might explain its watery nature when you look at these wandering stars, these lights in the sky, as they sort of just kind of move about, and they blink, but they move like they're a balloon, circle balloon kind of thing. I don't know. It's freaky. It's cool. They're certainly not planets. So if we said planets, you got that right. Bitter Pills. I like that name. It's a bitter pill to swallow. What's Bitter Pills got going on? Planets are wandering stars. Look at that. Y'all want to give them some love? Y'all want to give them a shout out? Exactly. Let's just say exactly. Wandering stars in the firmament, or just on the other side of, or underneath. Kind of covers all three, doesn't it? Inside the firmament, in the firmament, or just above the firmament. So kind of like we sort of like can't be wrong with that one. All right, so that's cool. I want to get a copyright strike. Your home is not a ball in space. Who doesn't love the Bitter Pills? That's good stuff, man. Greek word for wandering stars in scripture. Good stuff, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Playlist. Got a scripture study. Hey, get rid of those liars. They're the same club members that tell you about NASA, or the same taking oath club that landed on the moon. These preachers are liars. They teach free will. They celebrate Christmas. Free will is Catholic. And it's a lie.
It is that time when we turn to the word of God, to the day of the Lord and the vengeance of God, destruction away from the presence of the Lord and the.
Well, Revelation 13, the beast of Revelation exposed. It's Trump. We'll expose him for you. The two witnesses. You know what the two witnesses are? The two witnesses are the church divided into two. We are all what? Kings and priests. It's stated at the very beginning of Revelation. And they're represented by two candlesticks. Well, what about the church when it's divided into seven? Seven candlesticks. Seven because seven's the number for cleansing. 2 Kings 5:14. Man was told to dip himself in the Jordan and his skin became cleansed. Hey, it's 7:53, y'all. The Back to the Future beginning moment, clock time. So yeah, man, I want you, bitter pills. I want you, man. I want you. I don't monetize my channels. I'm not here to make money, my friend. But what I want you to go to my playlist at Telling Truth Archives and go down to No Free Will, John 3:16, falsely written and taught proof 5 video series playlist I do for you. All right. The Holy Spirit does for you. Hell is not eternal torment. It's judgment. Raised judge, second death. Lake of fire is where the flames are. Hell just means the grave. They're going to be raised judge and die a second death. Just as dead as the first time. No knowledge of it. Yeah, you're asleep in the dust of the earth. Go to TS Daily Bible Studies, click playlist, and start any of these you want. This is good stuff, man. Baptism is a spiritual baptism. I don't trust Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries on everything, but he's great with baptism and election and predestination, and Christmas is pagan, Easter's pagan. He's not good with hell. He's not good with end times prophecy. He's not good with Revelation. Not good with Daniel. Doesn't believe in that demons are what we understand them to be. Believes in tithing, which is old covenant. You don't owe me a dime for a thing I do. So anyway, yeah, check it out, my friend. Michael, what you got? So that we're done with comments. The two witnesses, and notice that the two witnesses are then taken up into heaven. That's kind of a retelling of what you would call the post-tribulation removal of the church. We don't like to say rapture because usually it flows with the words pre-trib, and of course the tribulation is actually for the church. So because all sheep today are lost, they all believe in free will, they all celebrate Christmas, and they need to get cleansed. They need to get their robes white. But we're glad you're here, bitter pills. There's my Bible study. Has it loaded yet? Yeah, hang on, y'all. Let me load my Bible study up. So I will not forget Michael's prep. I'm more apt to forget the grid, so I'm going to get the grid out of the way. Tomorrow, all we're looking at is January 10th, a 37-day progression. So Michael discovered, if you're new to the channel, that all of their events, false flag events, then we later discovered it was, all their, prominent movies and, that all speak to Trump, Antichrist, and all that kind of stuff, like the Dark Knight Rises. They all bounced off of eclipses. And Michael was realizing that they were 888, 666, or 22 days away from eclipses. And then since I had been working on that transfer portal, which I noticed every 37 days meant something. Transfer portal is January 10th, 2022, long story. But you can swing forwards and backwards in increments of 37 days. But swing backwards and forwards at any sets of days, and you will see how events correlate. Like go back, I think it's 465 days. And I don't think that's divided by 37. No, it's not. But go back 465 days. Trump said he had the illness on October 2nd, 2020, which was, the Donnie Darko date when the jet hit the house. Now, that's one way Donnie died on October 2nd. Another way, there was a right eye wound where Donnie shot Frank the rabbit. And that, I believe, took place on October 30th. So, there's a lot of swing in the month of October there. But, November is a total lunar eclipse, and it's on 88, 11/8. It's on November 8th. But, we're looking at things right now in the here and the now. But I knew that 37 went into 111 evenly. And I was like, well, 111 goes into 222, 666, 888. I bet it's more based off 37s. And Michael was like, you're right. And we'd never got there if Michael wouldn't have figured out the 888, the 666, and the 222. So he and I really enjoy working together, and we could tell that the Lord works in our lives. And to see stuff, to be able to sort of understand their world and expose it. So we enjoy waiting for the book of Revelation to be opened. And it will be open. You will be living in a live exercise of the actual book of Revelation in real time, either the moment the Antichrist Trump gets the deadly wound in the right eye, or on the third day of that, when he rises. Whatever the crowning is, Jesus received his crown at his death or resurrection. I think it's Hebrews 2:9, 2:9er. Hebrews 2:9, King James Version, Bible Gateway. If it's not, it's 9:2. It's 2:9. Okay. So, but we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels because God came in human form, suffering of death, crowned at death, or crowned with glory when he rose on the third day, crowned with glory and honor by the grace of God, that he should taste death for every man. So I realized when I went through that in my Hebrew study that the crowning is the death of the Antichrist. And it's not when the corona means crown, when that event took place. So ever since then, we know that it's going to be his death is when the Antichrist receives a crown, or a crown was given to him, because he doesn't really die, so it's given to him. It's a hoax. It'll be a hoax. So the grid, that's where I was. So tomorrow is not a lot of much. Okay. And okay. Interesting. It's just a penumbral lunar eclipse for tomorrow. I got two personal things. And the 17th is nothing. It's just when SpaceX opens shop. The 18th, this coming Saturday, folks, that is when I'm very like the meters is pegging at a 10 on that day for me. Just is. It's my Groundhog Day divorce date, when I 86 the 88 legally, or when she did, because I filed and she refiled, which pushed the date back. And from when I told her I wanted a divorce on August 2nd, it was exactly 6 months over to February 2nd. Perfect. A perfect 6 months to the day. Groundhog Day. What is Groundhog Day? It's the movie where the guy relives the day over and over and over and over, becomes a better person each day. Each day gets better and better and better. And by the end of the movie, he is loved by everybody because he was this horrible person and he became a great man. And I've been reliving that divorce, and the Lord's pulled me out of the world, and I've been repenting until the Lord has, and that process has not stopped. It doesn't stop till the day you die. But Lord is making you what? He's conforming you to the image of his Son. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called. So you get the call. When Saul got the call on the road to Damascus and later changed his name to Paul and wrote all the epistles, it was an actual calling of Jesus saying, Saul, why do you persecute me so? And Saul said, who are you, Lord? But he called him Lord. He knew something was up. So today we don't get a call. It's a circumcision of the heart, as it says in Romans 2:29. And as it says in Jeremiah 31, verse 33, where God says concerning the new covenant, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it on their hearts. That's what he does. He speaks to your conscience, mind, and changes your heartbeat about how you're going to start living your life, and you start repenting, you start coming out of the world. So most all sheep on the earth today are lost. They're either a Hindu, they're a Buddhist, they're a Middle Eastern religion, or they're an atheist, they're a fornicator, or they pray to Jesus's mom, or they believe in man's free will Christianity, sort of like what we would call a fake Christianity, where man makes a free will decision to save himself. Folks, a free will decision is a work that you can boast of. Well, I know I'm saved. I chose Jesus. Well, you just boasted, and it clearly states you don't do that. And the next verse says, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto the good works, which God hath before ordained we would walk in them. You're predestinated to it. You're elected to it. For he has chosen us in him from before the foundation of the world to be holy and blameless before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children to himself according to the good pleasure of his will. God doesn't love everybody. Jesus said, I only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And yet we know that John 3:16 said, for God so loved the world in the King James and in Textus Receptus, but that's not what it said in the original Greek scriptures. For God so loved. Cosmos was the Greek word that he so loved. And the first definition of cosmos is his appropriate, harmonious arrangement, order, government, constitution. He loved his kingdom that he arranged from before the foundation of the world. He loved his sheep. Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. He said, you believe me not because you are not my sheep. He didn't say, well, you believe me not, but maybe tomorrow you'll believe me with a free will decision. Stupid. I hate fake Christianity. I look at a Middle Eastern religion person and I say to myself, they got more of a chance. In my mind, I think, I hope God calls that person instead of that fake Christian I've been listening to my whole life. Well, I celebrate Christmas. I just like the tree. I don't know. I just like the tree. I know it's pagan, but we're celebrating Jesus's birthday. You might as well belong to a religion on the other side of the circle of the earth. You might as well be a Mayan. You might as well be practicing astrology, numerology. You might as well be a Wiccan if you believe in man's free will. So the guy that began the protest Reformation, Martin Luther, and yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff written about him, you know. Whatever. I trust history about as much as NASA. Martin Luther said, if any man ascribes to anything of the salvation, even the very least thing, to the free will of man, he knows nothing of grace and hasn't learned Jesus Christ rightly. 8 million books with him and Erasmus, fussing, fighting, arguing. Martin Luther and Erasmus books, free will, bondage of the will. There's all these books. Erasmus and Luther, the battle over free will. Who's Erasmus? Who they named the comet after and laughed at you. He's the guy that penned what is known as Textus Receptus, the received text, which is what was then used to write the King James Bible. Erasmus was a Catholic humanist. Humanism believes in man over a deity or a God. Man's ability to do things himself. So and you're like, well, why did God allow his Bible to be jacked up like that? Wouldn't God have given us a perfectly written, perfect book written in perfect English? No, he gave you basically the best you have is in the King's English, which is very difficult when you read through it. For the first time, it'll drive you nuts. After a while, you get used to it, depending on what you're reading. Like I can read Revelation and Daniel all in the King James. But when I do the others, I'll read them in New Living. And if something doesn't sound right, I'll go to the King James and see what it states. It'll usually be stated properly. If it's not stated properly in the King James, like John 3:16, which is why they shove that Bible verse up your nose, then I'll take it to the Greek, which is what you have to do. Erasmus chose the fifth definition of cosmos, the whole world. God loved the whole world, even though he ordained the end from the beginning, and Jesus loses not one of his sheep, and we're told it's a narrow way, but yet he loved the whole world. That's kind of mathematically impossible. Or then Jesus does lose some. Gee, Jesus loved the whole world, but he lost the broad way of them and only ended up being able to keep a narrow way of them. Wow, that's not a very good shepherd. No, you're in a false religion. Get the Christmas tree out of your house. Free will is as Catholic as Christmas is. It's pagan, or it's a lie. What are we talking about? Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'll move these back now. But the 18th is big. 18th is the Groundhog Day divorce day, where we 86 the 88. It is the 37th progression of when the twin Trumps fell down on September 1, 2001. It just doesn't get much bigger than that. The total solar eclipse of August 1st, 2008, when I saw the dark night the next day, went into divorce mode, 86 into 88. The following day. And it's the next progression of my Mayday friend and myself, as me and Trump's combined number. The Lord, when I was a child, I was all about numbers, but I don't do any type of pagan or anything you could find in a book or anything you could find at a website concerning numbering. This is something the Lord put in my heart, put in my head, to do things by multiplication. My birthday, 7 times 6 times 1961 times Trump is 6 times 14 times 1946. He and I's combined number, we got a 322, sits right in the middle of it. The year 1968, which was Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy's assassinations. 322, 1968. But I have a friend who was born on May Day, and there's 1,000 movies named May Day. When we came up to May Day, we were really thinking we could have an event because a lot of stuff lined up on May Day. And we looked at all these movies. We went to International Movie Database, and I bet you there are hundreds of movies with the name May Day in them. And so I've got a friend whose birthday is May Day. It's my only birthday May Day friend. Y'all might have 7 of them, but for me, it was just this one. She turned that many days old on March 11th, that key date, March 11th, 2022 this year. 33 days later, I turned that many days old. 33 days later, we had a total lunar eclipse of May 16th. 33 days later is June 18th. So June 18th, because of that total solar of when I saw the dark night, the next day began the process of 86 and the 88, and the fact that June 18th lands on the anniversary of 86 and the 88, and that it's the 37th progression of 9/11. So 37th progression of my divorce date, 37th progression of 9/11, the twin Trumps going down, 37th progression of the total solar eclipse, August 1st, 2008, 37th progression of when I saw the dark night. So I'm super big on that day. I'm super big on that day. And then it'll pass, nothing will happen. And the 19th is very strong. And then the 20th is huge. Huge. The 20th is huge. And boy, does it just keep going on the 21st, 22nd, and 24th. And then if nothing's happened by then, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's stuff. There's stuff. There's still stuff. My stepdaughter will be 886, 88, 86, 86 in the 88. 8,860 through 8,669 days old, starting on June 21st through June 30th. That's going to be big. She's got a 138 in her number, an 88 in her number, and an 86 in her number. Three times 19 times 1998. What is 98? The year she's born, 98. The crowning Bible verse is the 98th Bible verse in Revelation. She's born in 98. She has 138 for Donald Trump in her number. She has 88 for Trump in her number, and she's got the 86ing of it in her number. So we track all things her like it's nobody's business. And there's something about her that also comes up. Stepdaughter and I are 13405 days apart. Well, that stands for 34 years. And you also have the 405 on there for April 5th. So I started tracking April 5th, and that also lands on June 18th. So it's super huge. But she will be 886 days old. $1998. What are we going to do? We're going to count days. And we're going to say today, but we're going to move it up to the 21st. There it is. 8860. You got to track her. You have to track her. More than anybody else I know, she seems very connected through that world. So June 21st, and Michael is all about June 21st, June 22nd, June 23rd, June 24th. I'm all about the 18th through the 20th, but I do know when she starts those 88 and those, and Trump's 666 hours old, 666 and change all through the month of June. So there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Anything could happen. The grid is done. Let's get on with Michael. Memphis City Council votes on providing security for Trump's American Freedom Tour. Y'all, on the 18th, they've been squabbling over what type of protection he should have in Memphis. Isn't that where Martin Luther King Jr. went down? Martin Luther King Jr. assassination, Memphis, Tennessee. I remember when I flew in to the Memphis airport. Yep. The Memphis airport, Delta. It's a big Delta hub.
Flights from Orlando to Memphis leaving July 28th and coming back August 1st start at $300.
When you fly in there, man, all you see is Delta, Delta, Delta. It's a hub. But I saw Pittsburgh Steelers jet there too. Apparently I don't know. But Pittsburgh Steelers, Dark Knight Rises. It was parked there when we hubbed in there one day to do a changeover, whatever you call it. Serena Williams received wild card to enter the tournament. She hasn't played since the last Wimbledon. Wimbledon, Michael is calling it, from 627 to 710. He says, you said that last year, Wimbledon. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Don Trump, Wimbledon. And then Michael goes, you know, the horse race that just won the Belmont Stakes, you know, New York, Trump's town. It had Dawn in its name. Belmont Stakes winner 2022. I watched it. It did have a Dawn in it. Mo Donegal. So there's Don Corleone. Don means boss. We know who the boss is. Biden knows who the boss is. Pelosi knows who the boss is. They all know who the boss is. They all love the boss. But, you know, they pretend. They're actors. Know what I mean? Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump. They're all actors on a stage. All of them. All of them's is, man. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Serena Williams retires, injured from Wimbledon 2021. I told Michael, I said, she threw up last year. She withdrew from last year's Wimbledon. She threw up to 666. Scored tied 3-3 against an opponent from Belarus, which was the flag. When the American flag fell, there was a Russian and Belarus flag, and Russia and Belarus are buddies.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Well, notice Wimbledon doesn't give you the injury. Probably saying, you know, we want to protect her.
Oh, dear.
So,
No.
was he really hurt at all?
Looks like that dream.
Probably not.
A bit of a nightmare.
Oh, dear.
It's probably all been staged.
That's it. She's given it everything.
Actors. 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 And if that's not the truth, that's just what they get for lying to us about everything else. We just don't trust you. We just don't trust you. I got trust issues. I don't know what to tell you. Wimbledon, flag dropping Serena to July 4th, 2022. Wimbledon will be played from 6:27 to 7:10 from the date the U.S. flag dropped during Serena's medal ceremony on 8/4/2012. We did lock that in too, by the way, to 9 years, 11 months, or 100. So on July 4th, it'll be 9 years, 11 months. 9 years, 11 months. Good stuff there, Michael. That's crazy. Or 119 months. So by then, the United States should be falling. So if he goes down on the 18th, come on, you know he's going down on the 18th in Memphis. I was walking in Memphis. I was walking. I was walking in Memphis. Walking in Memphis song. That's a horrible song. Mark Cohen, Walking in Memphis. Don't worry, we're not going to play it. It's actually a horrible song. But yeah, I've got it in the grid too for its 37th progression. So we'll find out, you know, whenever that hits.
Saw the ghost of
See that word sun? Because it's the sun god. Trump's the sun god. It's got 706, my birthday. Or to them, 76, Adam. Adam West, the first Batman. Trump is Batman. So you got the 706 over the door.
Saw the ghost of Elvis.
The ghost of Elvis. Okay. You know, the whole Trump Elvis thing and the whole Elvis movie's coming out. When is that Elvis movie coming out? Oh, June 24th. Okay. I was walking in Memphis. Any of y'all say I can't sing, I'll be done slapped you. So the 17th would be the week before. So that's on a Friday. Well, of course it comes out on a Friday, stupid. All movies come out on a Friday. What the heck's wrong with you? Duh. Biden to unveil plan for next Plan Dem microphone while seeking an $88 billion in funds. 88. And Michael would say, I can hear him now. Are we about to go 88 miles per hour? Shoot, your guess is as good as mine. He and I He calls that June 18th my date. And I said, well, you don't have to be my date. I said, it could be your date too. We like messing with each other. Well, that's your date. Well, you say golf course. Well, Trey, it might happen on your golf course. So it's my golf course or his rally. So if he goes down in a rally, that's Michael's. If he goes down at a golf course, that's mine. So we're staking our claim, and this is my date, and this is your date, and it's hilarious. We just like having fun with it. We're athletes, man. It's all we did all our lives was compete. So we got to make some. We got to have some fun with this a little bit. You know, I mean, he's got to mail me a penny if I'm right, and I've got to mail him a nickel if he's right. So. We just like saying stuff like that. Your June 18th date on the golf course. It's like playing the game Clue. That's what we're doing. We're playing the game Clue. It happened in the school book depository. Oh, that was JFK's thing. What was Clue? Mrs. Petticoat with the sledgehammer in the media center. I just made all that up. All right, real risk. Now, so I told Michael, I had a very serious conversation with him. I said, that is what we need to keep an eye on. Because that market's not going to crash and nothing's going to happen until Trump goes down. iPet Goat showed us that. And so does the Dark Knight Rises. Only when Batman goes down does Bane and them take over. Oh, excuse me. And iPet Goat, nothing happens. Everybody's dancing, having a party in the classroom. Jeez, seriously. And yeah, I'm a school teacher. And so, but when you see those twin Trumps fall down in iPet Goat and those waters rise, it's kind of all symbolic of everything that's kind of going on at the same time. Could a tsunami happen before he goes down, or earthquake? It could. Doubtful, though. I think the whole world needs to be sort of semi-normal for everybody to know that he went down. Now, might not. So they just float it to you that he died, that he was killed, and give you some grainy footage of it. You know, it could happen like that. Real risk. Monkey gaining foothold in Europe amid escalating outbreak. The rock band The Who warns. Who are you? Who, I really wanna. Who are you? Who, I really wanna. Who to convene, the rock band Who will be convening with a concert emergency committee on the monkey. It's not clear. There is an unusual situation. Oh, excuse me. It's now clear there is an unusual situation. Like I said, folks, that is what you need to keep an eye on, because I think it will be growing and growing as reason why I don't think he'll go down anytime soon. Two reasons. Second wife needs to be remarried. And I think this illness needs to be really taking a foothold, which it's supposed to start doing that in the fall. And then if he went down in the October, now don't get me wrong, Back to the Future's got an August license tag. We could go 88 miles per hour at that point. Tsunamis, war, electricity coming on and off, and the illness rising. But that illness should really be at a pretty good heightened state of statistical inclines with all their psychological operations and photos. And, you know, you remember the last illness, they had puppets in the beds and you could see they were puppet feet. And yeah, so they'll have, and there's no telling how real it could be from what they spray in the sky. We already proved to you that the same way that it looks is the exact same spots and dots and pops and pills that rose up all over those people in No Time to Die. Did I not put that there? I was walking in Memphis. So you see in the movie No Time to Die, which of course the Antichrist doesn't actually die, does he? It's no time to die because he has to go run World War III, the war, the famine, the death, but it will seem like he was killed. Body. That's no time to die, folks. The same thing, the illness they're trying to show you. Same illness. Same pictures, isn't it? People with monkeypox. No time to die. All the world's a stage. So at some point, I think the illness has to be grown. Yes, I'm big on June 18th. But if it were to go down on June 18th, so then the war and the famine and all of that doesn't really begin immediately, because you have to let this grow. This thing has to grow. This illness needs to get worldwide, because I think what they'll be doing now, what they can do, let's say it goes down the 18th and war and all that starts up right away. Fall of America, July 14th, tsunamis, bombs, and people just are legitimately popping off with these sores because of what they spray in the sky and what they might do with the technology, and how the technology with what we've breathed into our bodies from what they spray. People that have taken the pokey poke, no matter, whatever, I don't know. So yeah, there's just no telling. I'd have to be a mad scientist to know what they're all up to. I'm just not that scientific. I'm bloody well mad. But yeah. Michael, good stuff, man. Oh man. CNN breaking news, latest news and video. South Carolina voters deliver, look at that, vengeance. And so Michael's giving us that because that movie, The Batman Vengeance. The Batman Vengeance. Well, everyone calls the Batman Vengeance. He called himself Vengeance. Vengeance was like the key theme of the whole movie. And sure enough, Trump started saying vengeance, and there's that headline. Good call, Michael. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good. Elliot Gould. Donnie Darkened. Today is the 76th birthday of Donald Trump. 76 years ago on this day was a total lunar eclipse, blood moon. 7 years, 7 months, 7 days after his birth, he would become inaugurated as 45th president, and exactly 700 days after his birth, Israel would become a nation. That's crazy. We like that Donnie Darkened. He messaged me back in the day on Facebook. I think he put one of my videos out there, which is very nice. I'd like to hear more from him, that's for sure. Be good fodder to be cool to talk on the phone with him maybe at some point. So there's your 777s from the Aleister Crowley. From Donnie Darkened, this also no coincidence that the author of the novel Moonchild, Aleister Crowley, who directed Jack Parsons' Babylon Working Ritual. So, you know, you get all that from Angel White, right? I mean, bend the world to our will. We just showed you all that in that video a few days ago. How that came out in a movie preview where they were talking about bending the world to their will. And that was Aleister Crowley's quote. But yeah, he had a book. Aleister Crowley did 777. And if you think yoga's safe, Yoga, Aleister Crowley book.
According to
Yeah. Bummer. I should have let her go, huh? 8 lectures on yoga. So he's got an 8 and a 777 in his book. So if we go 8 times 777, you get the 216, don't you? 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. James Bond's car's got a lot of 216s. So Aleister Crowley's got the number 8 on a book and the number 777 on a book. Oh boy, is he going down on 621? It's a big day for us too, man. That's the first day stepdaughter turns 8860 days old. That's getting him into Michael's wheelhouse, sort of leaving mine and getting into his. Day of the Dead, you got a total lunar eclipse in 78. There's only 2 things on the 21st. Michael likes that. Maybe he said 22nd through the 24th. I think it is. Yeah, 22nd through the 24th. That's his wheelhouse. That's that set of dates that really kicked in at the May 14th through May 16th, the total lunar. If I'm not mistaken. Or May 16th through May 18th. Yeah, May 16th through May 18th. That's what it is. So I like the 14th, which then means I like the 22nd. Yes. Remember, I thought he was going down on the 14th. I was real high on the 14th because of all of these things. And that was the day Trump turned 9/11, 911 months old, and Israel turned 888. Now, for a whole month, they were that. That's just now ending because that was on the 14th, so it ended yesterday. But the 22nd, that is a big, 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 big day also. So I like 18th, 20th, 22nd. Michael likes 22nd through 24th big time. I was walking in Memphis. Little horn Antichrist of Daniel is described in detail 721 through 725. Strangely enough, Trump Tower has multiple addresses. It is located at 721. So, you know, he's doing our stuff, man. Good for him. Michael said, other than me, it's the only person he's seen do it. So he probably got it from our video. He did share our video, which is very nice. I like it that people are getting out there doing that. So, and he likes, you know, sign up for his Twitter at Donnie Darkened. All right. Let's bring him up in Twitter. What do you say? So I'll put at Donnie Darkened Twitter. Let's just see if it pops up. And what was weird was this is how the world will end. Donald Trump's a chosen antichrist. They've been foreshadowing this for centuries. So 5 hours ago, like he's just throwing it out there, man. Just throwing it out there. That's good. That's good. When I looked at it, we had that down here. Oh, that was that video. Donnie Darkened on Twitter. I present you the 7th. Yeah. Be cool if my video popped up. You know what video of mine got tons of views? It was an exposing fake college football video. Got thousands. I couldn't believe it. The AI pushed that thing like that. It won't push any of my truth stuff. And that's okay. God's ordained every bit. If you're here, God ordained you'd be here. Don't sweat it. This is the knowledge that I first received from you, and one of the most compelling pieces of info that led to me to come to the conclusion of who Trump is. Oh yeah, the address. So Michael's saying that address situation. Yeah. That's and I'm glad Michael's sharing that with me, because that should be, I should put that on my Facebook more often. I put it on there a lot. You never know what the Lord will use to call a sheep out of the world or begin that process. Just rhetoric right now, rhetorical question or rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. But there are no coincidences that he started it on the Moonchild's birthday. Pope Francis said, World War III has been declared. Why would he say that? Pope Francis, World War III. Oh, brother. Sometimes I feel like if I didn't read Michael's stuff, I wouldn't even know this. I saw something about Pope Francis somehow, but I should watch the headlines each night on the news. What I should do, just catch the headlines. The headline used to in the news, it'd be like dun 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 at the NBC news desk, dun 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 ABC. They would always give you like 2 or 3 things. In Washington, blah 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 blah. Over in Vietnam, sorry, showing my age. Over in Vietnam today, boom 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 boom. And hey, over in and the World Series winners, 2 3 things. I watched the other night 2 openings. I think it was CBS and ABC. And they each started off with 10 items. About 7 of them overlapped. Just like when I went to the movies and saw Top Gun Maverick. Not just Top Gun. I saw Top Gun Maverick. If you losers haven't, I'm just kidding. If y'all haven't seen it, then, but used to 3 or 4 movie previews. Now, about 10 to 14 movie previews. Well over 30 minutes of previews. I had to use the bathroom and come back before the movie started. And I was good to go, and I went in there and sat. Now, mind you, I do hydrate. I was on caffeine, and I do have fast kidneys. I went 2 other times during the movie, but I'm just saying. Chernobyl disaster. Michael, he's like, was it just a psyop? Again, it's Ukrainian. I think it's all about the cranium. Spelled with a C, of course. Cranium. Ukrainian. It just pops in my head. It was founded in 1988, y'all. What is 98? 98th verse in the Bible. Crowning. 98th verse in the book of Revelation. 98th verse, crowning. Founded in 1998 when stepdaughter was born. I'm telling you now. Oh, that's Cranium Incorporated. Y'all, I'm punchy today. I'm daydreaming. I've been out in the sun too long. Okay, Cranium Inc. Whatever. That means nothing. I just and I apologize, but you will not get that 15 seconds of your life back that I just wasted. That belongs to me forever. You'll never get it back. Cranium, the country of Ukraine. We might as well look up when that founded.
According to Wikipedia, Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe.
We don't believe that. That's a psyop. It's fake country. It's like Disney World. I'm kidding. But you know, like Michael said, the Golden State Warriors with their blue and gold flag, the Rams with their blue and gold flag, Ukraine with their blue and gold flag. I say flag, you know, colors of the team. Yeah, interesting. Get that cranium cracked. So what happens to the Antichrist? Going to get his cranium cracked. So it was founded in Declaration of Independence of Ukrainian People Republic. So it formed in 879, and then it was a 119. It's got a 119. Then August 18th, which I'll be looking at that date this year. Then Ukrainian People's Public. It's the first time the name of Ukraine was June 10th, 1917. So that's right in that, you know, that movie 1917 that came out, which, you know, World War III is all about World War I and the illness of the Spanish flu with the illness of everything that's going on now. It's why the movie 1917 won an Oscar, because they're trying to relate all of that back, just like when Franz Ferdinand got assassinated, it kicked off World War. So when Trump goes down, it's going to kick off World War. So, and then Declaration of Independence of Ukrainian People's Republic, January 22nd, 1918. And so Unity from Soviet Union, August 24th, 1991. Tear down that wall. Sorry. So Michael, good stuff, including both dates. Chernobyl, PSYOP is linked to June 24th and then 7/31. Nice job, Michael. Nice job. I can add that in the notes. All right, so I snuck it in there with the American Sniper Dinty Moore can, and remember that Dinty Moore came to Trump, or Donald Trump, in Gematria, and the Dinty Moore can was what was getting popped. Not American Sniper. It was called Shooter, wasn't it? Hang on. Yeah, it's the movie Shooter, and he hits a can of Dinty Moore, which comes up to Trump. Yeah. I put American Sniper. I guess that's what I wanted to name it. Okay. So let's go back and paste that back here. All right. Chernobyl and Shooter will, oh golly. Already put release date on there. Stupid. Been having a tough day, y'all, man. I tell you, man, I can't seem to get my brain going on here. Snoop D-O double G. Could that be me? Michael's got some good stuff today, man. He was throwing out them email. I was like, ding, 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 ding. I was sleeping, but when I saw him, I was like, whoa, good stuff. It's gonna be a good day with Michael. Ukraine war matches Antichrist in 6 ciphers. That's impossible. That's impossible. This is from Joseph's video. Michael will watch some of Joseph's videos. Joseph, of course, thinks that Obama's the Antichrist and he's waiting on a pre-trib rapture. So he used to have the guy on my Facebook. I thought I had a collaborator there for a while, and I was like, what? Pre-trib rapture? And it's not. And I was proving all these things, you know, with, you know, like being here in your own name. Like Jesus said, the Antichrist would be here in his own name. And a trump is a horn, and a horn is a trump. He was like, no, it's Obama. So he's either a low budget controlled op, or just Lord just hadn't given discernment, and nothing you can do about it. It's not a fair fight. You can't make fun of people like that, because if God's given you grace, if God's given you wisdom, I mean, do you think Daniel, which is my favorite book in the Bible, do you think Daniel walked around and was like making fun of or poking at the Chaldeans and astrologers? Don't forget, Daniel studied with the astrologers and the Chaldeans. And I studied astrology like a madman. I was ate up with demons. And Daniel was as a captive, he was trained by all the ways of the Chaldeans and the astrologers. And then he was actually put over them. He was in charge of them. And but Daniel didn't practice astrology. Daniel went to the Lord gave him truth. But he was trained in it. He knew it. It was interesting. But it's just, you know, we all hope Joseph gets the call one day. What can you say? The date of Zechariah 11:17 is coming. Every day must be watched until it comes, which of course is November 17th. Ukraine war coming, Antichrist length for timing standpoint. That clearly means that the Ukraine war and the coming Antichrist are linked from a timing standpoint. Yeah, I guess. 121 is May Day. It's Antichrist. You got the 726. It could be July 26th. That's Michael's last. Y'all, I've wasted enough of your time. Love y'all. I was just being punchy tonight, and hope y'all are having a great day. And I love y'all very much. I'm glad you're here. Michael, tremendous work, sir. Good stuff. Thank you, sir.